Hi, I'm Jennet Ingle, the 5-Minute Reedmaker. If you're watching this on YouTube, would you go ahead and click subscribe for me? That way you always know when I drop a new episode, and it makes it easier for other people to find my channel and to become better reedmakers and happier musicians. Thank you. Today I wanted to address a question that I got in email. And the question is around thin rails going all the way up the reed to the start of the tip. So like leaving a thin strip of bark in the rails of the heart region versus an overall even concept of the heart or plateau. And my querent, my question asker, mentions that Katherine Needleman talks about the necessity of rails all the way up in order to facilitate high notes, especially slurs to high D and high E flat. And I'm intrigued. In general, I find that by the time my reeds are finished, I've removed that rail completely. So you can see here on my finished reed that the shiny bark here goes only just into the heart and then pretty much disappears. And that happens in every quadrant. And what I do think about is not necessarily having an even thickness all the way across the heart, but having the surface of the heart be smooth and shiny all the way across. And I think about actually thinning it toward the side. So in the same way that the tip slopes outward from the center out to the sides and up toward the corners, I think that the heart slopes outward toward the sides from the center. Although I do not believe that it slopes from bottom to top. That is the way that I think about and understand the structure of the heart. So for this video, I have 3 day 2 reeds, which still have quite a bit of shiny bark on the sides of the heart. And my idea here is just to compare what happens as I remove that bark. Sorry, I'm having a hard time with focus today. There it is. So, here's a reed. So here's a reed which beeps a little bit stiffly, crows a sharp C, and plays thusly. And definitely doesn't give me any difficulty slurring up to high D and high E. To me, this reed feels a little bit it feels a little bit inflexible. It's not actually playing sharp, but it's very stable to the point that I am a little uncomfortable with it. And if I go in now and turn the heart into what I am looking for in a heart. So the way I would work on this heart now is to start at the left side, take away that bark, then arc very gently all the way across until I get to the right side where I remove all of the bark again. So what I'm looking at now is smooth across with no visible bark at the side. And I'll do the other blade just the same. And what I expect here, because I have scraped in the heart, I expect that the crow will go down a little bit. And I expect that this will give me more flexibility and a little bit more fluidity between registers. But let's see if that's true. The beep is easier. We're now crowing a sharp B rather than a sharp C. So I'm inclined to clip the tiniest bit just to bring that up, and then I want to compare the feeling of this reed. There's my sea crow. Now, what I perceive, and I don't know whether this comes through in the video, is that the sound overall is a little bit darker, that I have a little bit more flexibility of pitch, and I feel as though there's a little bit more depth. And I'm still not having any difficulty getting up to the top D and E flat. Let's try another one and just see if the same thing holds. This reed, visible bark, significantly visible bark. You can see it sort of glossy all the way up there on the left. A little bit less so on the other side. My reed beeps a little bit stiffly. Crows a C just a little tiny bit sharp, and plays like this. To be honest, this reed feels great to me. I really like the way it feels when I play it. You heard that it broke on me on my way up to that high E flat. And I guess here's a curiosity. What if instead of doing my normal thing, I just tried to what if I just refined this reed and left those rails? Let's see if I can find a version of this reed that gives me that slur, that gives me the feeling I want, but doesn't require me to take the rails off the sides. Basically, I'm going to scrape everywhere that isn't the heart. Sides and corners of the tip, deepening the windows. I've lowered the crow a little bit, but it's still in the realm of C, so I'm going to just keep playing it. So what am I proving here? I find that I still have to work for that high E flat slur. If I just play it without helping it, I'm not getting the result that I want. So I'm now going to go back into my heart idea. Because this isn't a bad read. Actually, I do like it. But my curiosity is, even though I finished this read just now to a sea crow, it's perfectly playable, and I've left these rails on the side, my question is, what happens when I change that? As I cross the middle of the heart, you can see that my knife is still going, but the quality of cane I'm taking off is very different. I very much hack at the side. I'm really taking off a lot at the bark edge, but in the middle, I'm just smoothing that heart across. But now I've definitely dropped my crow, so I'll clip. And that's expected. I mean, anytime I do work in the heart, I anticipate that it will lower the crow. It's back to a low C. And for me, that E-flat slur is working better with the heart in the shape that I'm used to. Now, please let me be very clear. There is nothing wrong with Katherine Needleman's reeds or the way she makes them, which I don't know, actually. I'm only judging from this question that this person asked. There's nothing wrong with the way she makes reeds or the way you make reeds if your own reed making is designed to work with rails in the heart. Every human is a different human. Our mouth shapes are different. The way we like to blow, the way we are accustomed to playing, the way our playing has evolved with our reeds, we all get to decide how we like our reeds to be. And I have definitely done that. For me, getting rid of that rail at the side of the heart gives me a greater depth of sound, a greater flexibility, and I certainly do not have a problem slurring up to that E-flat most of the time on the reeds that I make. I think that you heard the difference that happened when I scraped that rail in the heart. And this doesn't mean that if you have rails in your heart, you're doing it wrong. What it might mean is that you could consider experimenting and seeing whether you liked your reeds better with or without that rail in the heart. I hope that this has been helpful. This has been a 5-minute Reedmaker lesson. You can follow these short videos right here on YouTube. You can subscribe if you wish. I hope you will. And if you need to reach me to order reeds or cane, or a copy of my book, The Happiest Musician, or to ask me a question that I could answer in a future 5-minute Reedmaker episode, you can find me at jennetingle.com. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.